Watch, Hurricane Ian will hit Cuba soon, and Florida is preparing for its arrival, hold up and declaring a state of emergency. Ian is now a Category 3 extremely powerful hurricane with winds of 185 km per hour. Western Cuba was put on alert status, awaiting Hurricane Ian, which turned into a very strong hurricane on Tuesday, while the U.S. state of Florida is preparing for its arrival as well. The U.S. National Hurricane Center announced, on Tuesday, that Ian is now a Category 3 hurricane, meaning a very strong hurricane with winds of 185 km per hour. The center considers the hurricane to become extremely strong, meaning a Category 3, 4 and 5 on this scale, when the accompanying wind speed reaches 178 km per hour. In this case, the hurricane would cause destructive damage to homes and buildings, uprooting trees, and negatively affecting the distribution of water and electricity. The center indicated that the hurricane will hit Cuba soon. AFP journalists reported that rains accompanying the hurricane began to fall on western Cuba. Since Monday, the Cuban Civil Defense has declared a state of alert in the 6 provinces in the west of the country: Pinar del Rio, Artemisa, Havana, Mayapec, Cienfuegos and the island of Juventud, located 344 kilometers south of the capital. The height of the waves ranged between 5 and 7 meters. The authorities evacuated about 50,000 people from Pinar del Rio. In the Cuban capital, Havana, with a population of 2.1 million, long queues formed to buy some food. Havana fishermen pulled their boats out of the water and barricaded themselves in their homes, while some residents reinforced the wooden houses. Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel wrote, "These remaining hours should be used before the situation gets worse. Protecting the population is essential." The island of Grand Cayman, which is part of the United Kingdom, was also placed on alert. The U.S. National Hurricane Center warned, Ian will arrive over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico on Tuesday, and will approach the west coast of Florida on Wednesday and Thursday. A state of emergency has been declared across Florida as authorities ramp up preparations. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis warned that Hurricane Ian will bring heavy rains, violent winds and flash floods along Florida's Gulf Coast. Residents were asked to stockpile food, water, medicine and fuel, and power outages were expected. Several cities in Florida, such as Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Tampa, began distributing sandbags to residents to help them protect their homes in the event of floods. Areas such as Hillsborough, West, where Tampa and Collier, Southwest, have issued mandatory evacuation orders in the most vulnerable coastal areas. U.S. President Joe Biden declared a state of emergency in 24 of the 67 regions allowed to allocate federal aid. The U.S. Space Agency has abandoned the scheduled launch of a rocket towards the Moon, Tuesday, from the Kennedy Space Center in this southern U.S. state. In Honduras, more than 12,000 people were evacuated after a flood caused by heavy rains accompanying Hurricane Ian, according to what the Civil Defense announced on Monday. These rains are in addition to those that fell in recent weeks and caused floods that killed 13 people. Ian comes after Hurricane Fiona, which swept the Caribbean region last week, killing at least 7 people, and the Atlantic coast of Canada, where 2 deaths occurred. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and like the video.